Ivan, we finally made it.
We did it. Finally.
Been hanging for this.
Ooh.
Man, I'm going to have a quick cafe while I'm waiting. But yeah,
What am I, number 5?
dude, 4 or 5? No,
I'm number 4 now.
Four.
There you go.
Yeah, bumped you up. You're going to have to get the big fella on sooner.
Awesome.
Wait, how was your weekend? What did you do? Was MotoGP on this weekend?
No,
That was
no,
last
no,
weekend,
no.
yeah,
It's a terrible weekend. No MotoGP, no Formula One. It's
Dude,
ooh, I
no
don't know-
motorsport for you.
I don't know what you do.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how are you going to survive this weekend without motorsport on?
Just a lot of iRacing.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Is that it?
That's it. Just
Hey.
keeping the mind sharp.
Dude, that race last week in Austria with
Insane.
Marquez and Dovi, oh my God.
Insane.
That 10th turn at the end, that was one of the most insane things I've seen.
Yep.
Like, for a long time, like, see how close that was towards the end. Right? You're a Ducati man?
I'm a Rossi fan.
Yeah.
So first and foremost,
Always.
but after that it'd be
Same as
Ducati and Dovi and any Italian.
So you've gone to MotoGP before?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. I've been probably 7 times now to Phillip Island. I try and go almost every year. I've been in the pits 3 times, so I've got a friend.
Yeah?
Pays to have friends. So behind the scenes, I've got Rossi signed a personalised photo for me, saying for Ivan. So that was pretty awesome.
That's killer.
That was really cool. And just being behind the scenes in the paddock, like going there, general admission is awesome, but when you go behind the scenes in the garages and just seeing everyone in the pits, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's a few days too. It's not just this one day. You know what I mean?
3.
Yeah, they're 3 days. So
3 days. Best advice, if you want to get a Rossi signature, Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, or Friday. As the weekend goes, the line gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like even before, because obviously to get into the paddock, there are 2 ways you can get in, and the riders get in from a certain direction.
yeah.
So everybody just waits there on Sunday morning, people that don't have pit passes, and then you just wait there.
They
But
sussed it out already where they're coming from.
Oh,
so
of
they're
course,
like,
but
yeah.
on Sunday, it's packed. He literally just pushes and shoves his way. It's not as good.
Yeah,
it's
man.
not as good. Like, you want to get in on Friday.
Such an icon for the sport though, Rossi
No,
though. Like, had a friend of mine when we were younger. You know, Rossi always has like buzzed out helmets. He
Yeah.
does like really cool designs. Always got the sun and like
Yeah,
whatever.
and the moon, yeah.
and it's all like fluoro, that sort of thing. A friend of ours, like we used to play soccer with, Adam. He one time got the design of. He has like real thick curly wog hair, right? He's Italian
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
right? Like us, right? But he's got the real thick curly
Mm-hmm.
short. So when he has a shaved head, it's like a bush.
Yep.
He 1 year got the design of Rossi's helmet cut into his head and coloured, right? So
Oh,
he had the
wow.
whole helmet on his head, right? And then he went to the pits as
Yeah.
well, and Rossi signed his head, right,
Nice.
like on the helmet.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's next level.
That's commitment. I've got a friend of mine. He actually had nothing. He saw him randomly and had nothing for him to sign. So he goes, sign my arm.
Yeah.
So he signed his arm, didn't wash it for the rest of the weekend, came back and got it tattooed.
100%. You have to. It's
As
Rossi.
as you would.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you? You can sign anything on me, I'll get it tattooed.
That's
That
it.
guy.
That's it.
He's the best. The
But
doctor,
nah.
man. He's the doctor.
Last weekend, that was good. That was a good race. Dovi, a lot of heart. It was still 58 points, but,
I don't know, man.
I don't know, if you make a mistake or 2 markers and a few crashes here and there, it could be open. I don't know if do you follow the World Superbikes at all?
The super bikes?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, so Bautista had a 110-point lead in the championship and crashed 6 out of 9 races. Now he's behind 48 points.
What?
Yeah, it's the biggest flop in the history of World Superbikes.
That's insane.
13 race wins, he's not going to win the title.
How does that even happen? That's insane.
you
How
crash-
many races do they have in a season?
They got about 12 rounds.
Yeah, right.
But they do 3 races per weekend, so it's not one race. So there's a lot more points you can get.
Oh, okay.
It's insane.
It's like a full-on point system set up for that then.
Yeah, but
They're doing
I
many
mean,
races.
you crash 6 out of 9 races. Rumor has it he might be going to Honda. So
Is that right?
Could it be sabotage?
Ooh. Well, there was, you know who I was impressed with as well? That young Portuguese boy who was on the F1 last week. He's a rookie last year, finished second. Oliveira or whatever his name
Yes.
is. Oh, my God. He's a gun, bro.
Yeah, he's good.
He's one for the future.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. KTM, not so good, but he's good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
I like
Very
him,
good.
man.
Yeah.
I really like him. So I reckon I'm going to keep my eye on him, right? But, you know, Rossi's always number
Yeah,
one.
has to be.
But you're from Italy, no?
From Italy,
You're born there.
born there.
Where were you born?
So I was born in a town called Ugento,
Yeah.
which is a province in Puglia.
In Puglia.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So 10 years old, you know, you're hearing things around the house and you hear these complaints and these arguments that the parents are having late at night, you know, like when you're little,
Okay.
you know, you're away from all these arguments. The next thing you know, there's this story being told to you that you're moving to a new country. I'm like, wow, it's an adventure.
Yeah, right.
But in my mind, I actually genuinely thought we were going to Austria,
Is that right?
not Australia.
Oh, yeah,
Because in school,
That makes sense, yeah.
like you're sitting here, the teacher's there where you are, and after him, there's a poster and it's got Italy, but it's just got everything that goes up.
So
you got
Switzerland's-
Germany, Switzerland, and then there's Austria.
Hmm.
So my mum's complaining one night, oh, we're going so far away. I said, Mum, what are you talking about? Like I saw it at school. It's just above from Italy, Austria.
Yeah.
She said, no, Australia. I said, Mum, it's not on the map.
Yeah.
We're going to Austria.
There's no Australia in the world, but what are you talking
She
about?
goes, here, got the globe because that's where we're going. I was like, oh, that looks far.
Wow. So you were 10 when you left.
10.
What, just you and your mum or?
Me, mum, dad,
Ev-
little sister, and 2 brothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you fly over?
Yeah, no, we're not from, we're not
Off the
fresh
boat
off the boat.
styles? Yeah. It's changed since the 60s,
No,
right?
we're, you know, Qantas.
Yeah, Qantas, that's it.
Qantas, no English, just rocked up.
Oh, really? You didn't know your family knew English? Or?
Nothing.
No one?
No one.
Yeah.
My dad's
It's
a
the
welder.
Italian way, right?
My dad's a welder.
Yeah.
He's some family friend from the town, had family here, had one phone call, said, yeah, come here, great opportunity. My dad goes...
Adelaide?
To Adelaide.
Yeah.
My mum turns around to my mum and goes, oh, that's where we're going to Australia. On one phone call.
Wow.
No Skype, didn't even know what these people look like.
And it was a friend of his, not like a cousin or anything?
No, like a family friend.
Yeah. So
a friend
Paisan.
of a friend. Yeah, Pisano. Oh, yeah, they're in Australia. We should go there.
Wow.
Crazy.
And so what was that like for you going to school then? At like, what, were you still 10 when you got here or were you 11 then?
No, 10.
Still 10,
So
yeah?
I was 10. My 10th birthday was here. So like 2 weeks after we rocked up.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was already drama.
It's a tough age, bro.
Oh, there was no family here on my birthday. Like just sitting around like in this weird house that you're not familiar with and no family. It was really weird. And then essentially a couple of weeks later, started going to school at Gillis Street Primary, started to learn English. Took about 3 months to understand what people were saying. Because, I mean, they were talking to me, but I didn't know if they were paying me out or talking or...
You knew nothing
I
of
knew
English?
nothing about what
Zero.
these people... Zero. Nothing. And I had to catch
Shit.
2 buses to go there as well.
Shit.
I barely knew enough words to say my address, my phone number from home in case somebody needed to call, but
Yeah.
there was no other forms of communication.
No.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. And so
Wait,
basically...
did your family go with you to the same school? Like your brothers and sisters? No?
No, my brothers are older.
How old?
So,
Like, so all right, go through the family tree, like age
Alright.
difference when you were 10. All right.
so I was 10, one of them would have been 19, the other one would have been 21. They went to
Oh.
work.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it would have been the same for them, just in the work industry, right? Like coming
Yeah.
over, not knowing anything. And what do they do for jobs?
So one of them manages Costco. So
Okay.
one of them- nowadays.
Yeah.
Not back then.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to
Go
that.
straight into a management job, no
We'll-
English.
We'll get no. Back then, no. Back then, when they arrived,
Yeah.
they were working in a box factory, not like the Simpsons style. A lot less cleaner than the Simpsons box factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they both worked there when we first came here. Nowadays, one runs he's a manager at Costco. The other one's a manager at a steel fabrications company. But back then, essentially, it was about learning English, and then once I got English, then it was about doing all the family paperwork. So Centrelink, migration papers. It was
Yeah.
all done by the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And when we would have to go buy something, they were negotiating with me. They weren't negotiating with the mum or the dad. So essentially, I was the midway. If I didn't like it, then they weren't getting it.
Yeah, right.
So it was crazy because, I mean, you think about a 10-year-old.
That's
like, I
crazy,
look at my
man.
nephew. Like, my nephew's 8 now. He, like...
In a year, he's moving here.
In
You
a
know what I
year,
mean?
he's moving, he's
Yeah.
doing paperwork, he's
Yeah.
translating, he's learning a new language. Like, it's crazy. You pick up a lot.
That's crazy.
Pick up a lot.
Well, they're obviously hard workers, your brothers as well, if they're, manager positions and stuff now, work their way up over time. Because how old are you now?
31.
Dude. So 21 years you've
Yeah.
You've been
so
here
most now, like majority of life now has been here compared to Italy.
So, dude, you're 10 years old, you're going to a new school, catching a bus, well, a couple buses to get to school, don't know English, got no friends, right?
No family,
No
cousins.
family, no cousins, no one speaking your language.
Nah.
There's no Italian friends there.
Actually, my first day going to the school
Yeah.
to learn English,
Yeah.
in my little mind, I actually thought that we were going to be in a class with all these other Italians.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be Italians learning English together. I rock up as an Asian, a Chinese, a Bosnian, an Afghani. Like, I'm like, well, where's the Italians? I'm like,
Multicultural society,
multicultural.
mate. Yeah.
And everyone's speaking different languages, but no one is understanding the main language they're meant to get, which is the English.
Exactly
It was
right.
crazy.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
like you look back now, but it was tough. Like, the first year when you migrate to a new country, especially back then, nowadays it's a little bit different because technology has caught up so much. But back then, we got to understand we're in the dial-up era. So like there's no jump on a website to learn English, or it was all done by booklets. I mean, our plane tickets, we went to the travel agent, you book it,
Yeah.
you come back 30 days later,
Yeah.
and you get your tickets.
Yeah,
You get
that's it.
like a physical ticket. Nowadays, it's beep beep.
No,
like,
ebook.
ebook and
Yeah,
like
ebook, yeah,
PDF
boarding
and passport on your iPhone. Like it's a completely different. So back then it was a lot different learning how you could consume knowledge. So
And then, so did you get a tough time at school with like bullying or anything like that for being off the boater?
it was more about the language initially, not knowing the language, and then afterwards it's the accent. So if
Yeah.
you notice my accent, it's actually not so bad.
Yeah, not so bad. A couple words at the
Couple
end of the
words here and
sentence
there. But back then it was huge.
Yeah.
And so it was about, okay, well now these kids are paying me out for no English. Okay, now I got the English. Now I got the English. Now they're giving me shit about the accent. So now
Kids are savage, bro.
Oh,
Kids
brutal.
are savage.
Brutal.
You can
So-
speak English like we do and still get picked on. It doesn't matter.
Oh, hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
And now, then I got the basic tone, tonality, and all that. And then it sort of calmed down a little bit. But I was short, so going to school, these 2 meter monsters, where you're like 1 foot nothing. It was crazy.
I was the
but-
same as you. I was a short little guy too. Everyone else was towers. I was a
Yeah.
late bloomer, man. Like 15, 16, I started like...
But temper, poor.
yeah.
So much temper.
See red light like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to. If you're a
Year
little
eight.
guy, that's what people don't understand. You're little, right? You got to have that little arc up. You know, they call
yeah.
it small man syndrome, which develops early, right? But, you have to have it, otherwise you won't survive, man. Because
Yeah.
the reason why they call that small man syndrome, well, I'm assuming, is because when you're small, you're always getting picked on. So the only way to get out of it is to stand your ground against these monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, year 8, through year 8, year 9, year 10, and year 11, I got suspended 4 times, expelled twice. So.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, the temper was there.
Yeah,
Oh, some good
crazy
story.
Italiani, mate. That's it.
Poor.
Yeah, well, Calm's used to it too. We're a bit of, we're the Calais blood in us, so
Ah,
yeah.
it's the 3. In Italy, we call it the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just switch has gone off. Everything's red.
Like a Tuzo for the Italian squad, right?
Oh.
It was the crazy Callo in the squad. He was always a snap,
That's it.
right? But you didn't mess with the guy,
That's it.
right? Because he'd destroy you.
That's
He'd
it.
double foot your next challenge and end your career.
Yeah, you're gone. Finished. So I mean, moving is tough. Especially back then. Nowadays, it's a little bit different, but that cultural difference just hits you like a ton of bricks. Because in Italy, what I find about Italy is everyone's in on it. So the siesta in the middle of the day, everyone's on it. Christmas, everyone's in it. Easter, everyone's in it. Whereas here, some celebrate, some don't. Some do this, some do that. Before you know it, people are working around the clock. Whereas
Different
over
religions,
there,
everything, yeah.
Every there, 12 to 4, you can't get anything. You have to break.
Yeah.
Because everyone's in on it. And that was probably the biggest thing that we found. Where's the siesta break? Why isn't the whole city stopping for Christmas?
Yeah. What's happening here?
What's happening?
Right? They said it was
culture.
good. They said it was the same. You know what I mean?
And,
you're moving over here.
where's my koala? You know what I mean? I was promised to moving to Australia, I'd get a koala as a pet.
Yeah.
So that was the
Yeah, and you ride a kangaroo to work and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, that
You
was my dad selling to me.
Really? But you can sell that story in Europe, right? When I was living in Europe, I used to say to them, I've got a pet kangaroo in the back.
I don't believe you.
The name's Skippy,
Yeah.
all right? It just roams around, whatever, you can ride it. They're like, nah, bullshit. I'm like, nah, it's true,
Yeah.
right? Because I had to have some sort of fun. When I'm living in Germany, I'm learning German. I don't speak German, right? But it's like you're having all these conversations with people where you don't understand what the hell is going on, right? And you might pick up a word here, word there. Like you might say one word back, and as you're starting to learn that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
But man, most of the time you don't know what the hell's going on,
Nah.
right? So to entertain yourself, you know, you make up a few stories
Oh.
that they think's true, and then you tell them at the end, obviously it's not true, but they do believe it. They actually think in Europe that we have pet kangaroos, koalas, like spiders that you know sit on your face, like just the size of a dinner plate,
Oh, yeah.
like anything, like everything's extra, and they're like, yeah, everything kills you in Australia, right? They go, each animal kills you, and you got like 30 snakes that are poisonous. You go, yeah, but it's not like you're hanging around them
Yeah.
on the day, man. Like, it's
I've
a
got two in my
big
house.
island, Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of desert.
I got 2 in my house.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
I know. That's crazy. So you did school. Did you go do studies after school, or what was after school for you?
so primary was Gillis, and then I went to Glenunga. So that was high school.
Yeah.
And then coming out of high school, which, you know, I did pass year 12. So I didn't fail year 12, which
You would have passed Italian for sure, right? You did that in year 12?
20.
Yeah, yeah.
20.
100%. Like,
No doubt. There was one guy actually gave me a run for my money, but I got him on the English. 'Cause
Get
he
lost.
he was fresh off the boat, like as in, like he was like fresh with the spelling and everything.
Yeah.
But I got him on the English part.
Oh, really?
Because only one person can get 20,
Is that right?
and everyone else gets 19.5.
So you got the 20, you got 19.5.
Yeah.
You're living the dream, bro.
Got him.
And he was fresher
him.
off the boat than
He was
you.
fresh,
Yeah.
like fresh.
But
like
a
1 year.
plane or a boat?
Nah, he's a TARDIS, probably plane, probably boat.
He took the month. He
in a
took the month.
container, in a container. But
dude.
coming out of high school, I actually wanted to be a graphic designer.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. So
Well, you're a creative guy, so
always
that makes
been,
sense.
always
yeah.
been. But
Yeah.
I, throughout high school, at home, always on Photoshop, always mucking around with that stuff. Loved it, and for me, I thought graphic design was going to be it.
Yeah,
So
right.
this is just what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
finished high school, went straight into that.
Yeah.
And first year of studying it, not bad. By the time the beginning of year 2, had spoken to a couple of people that had graduated. They simply said, you can get this degree and wipe your ass with it. Like there's no value in it.
Yeah.
It's all about your portfolio, what you do.
That's true.
So I was like, what
What's the point of it?
am I doing?
Yeah, yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, just wasted
Why do I got to do another year and a half of this shit?
all this time. Got a
And
debt. Yeah.
there was no Photoshop in it. Like the actual University of South Australia's course has almost no Photoshop in it. You don't get to do Photoshop till the end of year 3 because you got to learn You got to learn the fundamentals.
That's stupid.
Oh, it was crazy.
If that's how it is,
Yep.
that's
So
actually stupid.
you see this here,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you don't create that on Photoshop.
No.
No, you get pieces of paper with each individual letter cut out that you cut out,
Yeah.
and then you individually put it on another bigger piece of paper
Yeah.
and say, that's my design, and I did that, and that's my creative graphic design work.
Just for you listening, what he's pointing to is a VAR on demand sign on the wall that's stuck on. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So you would have to draw that out.
Draw it out,
And
then
it's-
cut it out, then stick it, and, you know, the spacing, the
It
letters.
just seems so inefficient, man.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, why would you go to university anyway?
What's the point of that? I
It's a
might
whole-
just
it's a
draw on
whole
a
different
sketchbook. Right, like,
For me, if you're not going to uni for something like a doctor's degree or lawyer or things like that, for me, you can get uni and you can just chuck it in the bin.
well, you just use it as a holiday for yourself, right? Before you actually go into it all. You know
An
what I mean?
expensive holiday?
Oh, mate,
Whew.
you're telling me I'm still paying off my uni degree that I don't use.
Oh,
You know
what's
what I
your
mean?
uni degree?
Construction management and economics.
How's that going for you?
Yeah, well, I work in real estate. I mean, it helps me read plans, I guess, for the
Yeah.
projects. But other than that, like,
Not much
well,
else.
when I finished, there was no jobs again. Like everyone was moving to Melbourne, interstate Sydney, or that sort of thing, trying to get jobs over there. I was still doing the soccer thing at the time anyway, so I was like, you know, I was doing that while I was
Yeah.
playing soccer. So I wasn't too worried about that because it wasn't my main goal. I was just pretty much doing it because, you know, that was the process at the time. You know,
Oh, you gotta-
got to go to uni and blah,
Get a job.
Now, I mean, I'd rather take those 5 years and put it into a business because, like, I could have had 5 years extra of developing something instead of having it as a holiday that's cost you 50
But even
grand.
in that particular field, like if you had spent 5 years next to someone, like in the field, actually
That's
doing
it.
Like
Like a leader in whatever I wanted to do,
that's it.
right? Stay next to him, be a sponge, absorb,
Yeah.
get that life lesson in, and already get that experience in that career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely crazy why anyone would
Well, once you are a part of it, you realise how much bullshit there is. Like, really, like how full of shit some of the degrees are. Like, there's so many things that are a waste of time that don't need to be there, but you still got to go through it and do it, and just to get that piece of paper at the end. And trust me, I'm not holding anything against people who actually take studying serious and do 30, 40 years, whatever it might be of studying, or even if they do 4 or 5 and they love it, it's good. If you love it, fantastic, beautiful. For me, I was not one who loved studying. I forced myself to sort of do that in high school. It wasn't like I was a bit of a smart ass. I wasn't the head of the class. I was there having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, I still did enough to pass, but I wasn't really trying my hardest, if I'm honest. In this whole, honest thing that I do. But uni, it's not for everyone, that's for sure. And I feel like the time can be used better elsewhere, depending on what you want to do. As long as you're happy, that's what it all comes down to.
For me, I find though that if you ask majority of people going into university, they are genuinely doing it to get a job. Which my advice then is no.
Yeah.
Run away.
Yeah.
Look on Seek. Look at your profession. How many people are going for that job? Like in the law field, for example, my wife's a lawyer.
Yeah.
If you go on Seek and look how many people are looking to hire lawyers in Adelaide today.
Yeah.
And look at the 3,000 new people that join a law degree every single year.
Yeah.
The numbers don't add up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's not enough jobs.
Well, you know what it is with like the younger ones today. Like, Calm, you're 23 soon, all right? He thinks he's old, bro. He thinks, right? He thinks
He does look old, doesn't he?
Well, he's a good-looking older lad, right? But no. He like a lot of people think that when they're a certain age, like shit, I better hurry up, otherwise I'm gonna miss out. I'm gonna miss the boat on this. Like I don't have much time.
Yeah.
All right. I can tell you from being 32 now that if I did nothing from 20 to 30 and just started out after 30, you're still fine.
Yeah.
Like you've still got plenty of time to do
Plenty of
anything.
time.
Like it's not as much of a rush as you painted it out to be to get your life sorted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can have 10 jobs in that time and until you find the one that you love and then go gung-ho on that. Like I feel like luckily Calm loves what he does. He's in real estate. He comes from a real estate family. He obviously knew the gig from before anyway, right? So for him, he's ahead of the game being that young, loving what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's already setting up his career, which is fantastic, right? And then all it takes is how long was your course, Calm? 3 months or was So he did that research. So he did it for 3 months. My course was 7 weeks for real estate.
Wow.
All right, so you can do. There's a few different ways, right? But yeah, all it took him was that 3 months to get that certificate, right? And then he's out there in the workforce getting that experience, and luckily he loves it. And he's a gun at what he does too.
Yeah.
All right, but there's no harm in if Calm didn't love what he did, that to go 6, 7, 8 jobs, work here, work there, until you find that passion of yours that it sparks that love.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, your happiness is the most important thing, and you got to love what you do because you're going to do it for a long time, right? And if you're not going to do it for a long time, or you're in it to get sort of rich quick, well, it's not going to really work out too well for you, man. Because that micro approach very rarely, if ever, does work. You're going to have that macro mindset where I'm going to build something for the future, which is also time.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when the whole patience comes into it. I was saying. My two favourite words are both with P's, patience and perseverance, right? If you persevere through all the shit and you're patient enough to let it all unfold and let it build, right, then you're going to be successful. That's what I see, right? And from listening to everyone, all the Tony Robbins and everyone, all the advice that you get from all these people who have done it, they're 40s, 50s, giving their advice. It didn't come overnight for them too. They've all got their journey from when they were young all the way through, all the hardships, all the adversity, everything that you face. And, even yourself, you got adversity you faced coming here at 10 years old, not knowing the language of shit you would have copped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that was just the beginning.
Yeah, and that's just the start of it. You know what I mean? And it's just, you overcome all these things, right? And with patience and perseverance, now you've built a very successful company, one of the best in Australia for social media marketing and everything. And, you're a guy who wasn't even born in this country, and you've set it up and established yourself to a point which is...
And no marketing degree.
No marketing degree. That's what I said. Did you even get the graphic design degree in the end?
No,
Right?
I got nothing.
Nah, that's it. Right?
Because my idea is when it comes to marketing is like the paper does not give you the right to call yourself a marketer. Like the paper gives you the fundamentals and the good things that the teachers are teaching you about marketing, but this world of marketing is evolving so rapidly and so quickly that what they teach you today is obsolete tomorrow.
Yeah.
The fundamentals are always the same, but for me, I always found myself being A, very creative, and B, I know what I want, and I believe I know what people want. And that's because of my, as we probably go on soon, is me on my 12 years in sales and speaking to so many people every single day. That is the key, because anybody can make a poster, can make an Instagram post, but does it sell? And that's ultimately what we're here to do.
Well, that's the whole point. Well, if you're a marketing agency, 100%, like you're getting paid to help people sell, right? So that sales of 12 years, which we'll get into in a minute, because I don't even know that myself, would be a great backbone to go into the social media aspect of, the advertising and marketing, all that sort of thing too.
And I didn't know it back then. So for me, I thought...
you never do, right? You don't know where shit's leading to you, like, until you get to a point where you look back and you're like, well, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have learnt this to take me to this space. But you don't see it at the time because you're just in, that moment, and, you got your goals and that sort of thing. And sometimes life throws you a curveball, and what you think you're going to do, you actually veer off and do something else anyway. Right? But it's also for the better in the long run. It's what they call it, blessing in disguise. That blessing in disguise.
Big time. Carmen, I'll just quickly take some water.
Yeah.
Quickly?
No, just keep going. Just drink.
You sure?
Yeah. Calm. Yeah.
I thought I might have to give you guys a signal or something.
No, bro. We'll keep rolling it, man. People still listening to you drink right now. It's all good.
Recently, like with the whole throat thing, I just try and make sure that I don't overstress it.
No, it's all right. Well, yeah, I talk a lot, so my throat's used to it. But yeah, sales, you have to talk a lot. All right. Well, so what? You've lost your endurance of your voice now, being out of that sales part for a bit with the 12 years, right? Where did you actually do it?
We'll get to that. This is good.
Yeah, man, take your time. Was that a protein shake? Is it? Are you working out?
I've lost 7% body fat in 4 months.
7% body fat in 4 months. What'd you start at?
I don't even want to talk about
Don't talk to me,
That's bad.
Yeah? What's your goal?
It was 25.9.
Really?
It was bad. Because
you didn't seem like that, bro.
I had let it go.
Did you?
Yeah, I had let it go. And so working out was still there, but I was binge eating at night and like just eating crap, like Whoppers throughout the day and Macca's run here, this there, big packets of chips at night, Coles pizzas and everything. And then the wife was starting to go, hey, no matter how much you work out, like you got to do something.
Yeah.
And me, the kind of mentality that I am, I said, when I switch on, forget about it. Like you're going to see some crazy results. And she's like, yeah, whatever. You're not going to switch on. So I flipped the switch, I did my first F45 8-week challenge, lost 7 kilos in that particular challenge. Now we're on the second challenge. So anyways, in about 20 weeks that this whole thing has been going on, I've gone from 25.9% body fat to 19.
Really?
Yesterday's result probably should have been a 17, but I had a bit of too much water weight on me. But I reckon in the next 4 weeks, I reckon I'll get it down to as low as 15.
So who's training you?
F45.
Are you doing it there?
Yeah.
Right. So
I don't do anything else.
So you rock up there, it's F45 because I don't do it.
Yep.
So you rock up there, there's a screen, you do like the sets. Whatever,
so F45 is 45 minutes of cross training.
Yeah.
And there's different classes. So Monday you do cardio, Tuesday weights, Wednesday cardio, Thursday weights, cardio.
Yeah. You know who you're going to meet? George the Mops. He was on the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got the Fit Industry Project where he sort of tailor makes workouts and everything to the professional, right? So he's obviously targeting like brokers, real estate agents, that sort of thing. People sort of hectic, but in the professional industry want to stay fit or have goals they want to achieve, that sort of thing. Goes through your diet, your sleep patterns, your workout regimes, everything. It runs it all through an app, right? And then obviously he gives you calls every week and goes over the results with you, and
Yeah,
depending on
beautiful.
how hard you work, la 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 la. Anyway, I'm gonna put you in touch with him because like he's next level.
Yeah.
Right? And then you won't just lose body fat; you'll build muscle and become this machine. Right? I mean, like, oh, I saw a little bit of smile. Is that what you want? The machine?
Oh.
Marking up?
I'm already. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
No. It's been good. I find it's important. I mean, fitness has always been something that I've always naturally done because I've been racing go-karts since I was 15. But it's
Have
just
ya? Yeah.
it's just been a phase, like probably the last 7 months, where I just I don't know, I got really lazy,
Yeah.
and I started to go down a bad path with fitness. And when I got that result, that 25.9, I was shocked. I was like, that's
Shit,
fucked.
you
I was
wouldn't have expected it.
no, I was like, I'm a 17% body fat kind of person. I saw 20, almost like I'm 26. I was
my
like,
God.
the fuck have I done?
Yeah.
I was like, no. This stops now. And
That's a punch in the face from reality, right?
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm vegan now.
What?
Yeah.
No, and you're Italian, and you see. I could never do it, man. I mean, is that just like
No,
just for
never-
diet reasons,
never
or is
say
it?
never.
Wait. Is it just for diet reasons, or is it for like cruelty to animals?
No, I don't give a shit about cruelty to animals.
Okay.
Like, I care. See, me and my sales background, I just care about results. So, because I don't believe one. No. Okay, I'll rephrase.
No, you
I
can.
don't.
You don't want that to happen to animals, right?
I
But-
don't believe one person changing his diet will change what's going on.
Sure.
So that's why I don't, like, you're not going to see me in Parliament House with cows, murder signs and all that.
Okay.
Like, I don't believe one person changing his diet can make an impact on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I also don't like labels. And I find that, for example, when somebody says I'm a vegan or I'm a vegetarian or I'm
Sure.
a pescatarian, all that, it's a bad, like, people should just, eat what they want to eat and not have these labels around it, because the labels make people think, oh, that's difficult. Being a vegan is difficult. But to be honest, I saw the benefits. I actually watched on Netflix. I encourage you to watch it. It's called What the Health.
Oh yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. Can't you seen it? No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But the benefits of vegan, I've never expected it. But the lean muscle that I'm building with no meat, no chicken, no dairy is insane.
But how do you give up the homemade salami, the prosciutto, the ham, like
After you
on
watch What the Health.
paninos, huh?
After you watch What the Health.
That's why I don't want to watch it, because like
Yeah.
I enjoy that food too much, man. There's nothing
Yeah.
better than, to me, getting a panino on the weekend with salami, bocconcini, roasted capsicums, and whatever you want to chuck on there, olives, and just mundering that,
I hear you, man.
and you've given it all up.
All up.
How long for you been vegan now? For?
I mean, when I say all up, there will, like, for example, let's say I'm at a client lunch meeting and the only thing on the menu is a steak or chicken. I'm having that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not going to stop me. But what I'm saying is the 90% has changed.
Yeah.
So, for example, broccoli has replaced chicken, tofu has replaced steak, and all these things. And at the end of the day, if you look at your nutrition, essentially, as long as you're getting, for me at the moment, I need 125 grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
So wherever you're getting it from, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's just that by getting it from vegan,
Yeah.
it's actually healthier.
So you're taking vitamins and supplements as well on top of everything, or just what you're
Nothing.
eating? Nothing.
Nothing. Just pure vegan diet.
Fantastic.
No milk, no dairy.
And how do you feel? Like, do you have more energy or lethargic or anything like that?
I would say the first thing that you notice after a couple of weeks is clarity.
Yeah.
Like you're not clouded. Like you feel clear, like your thoughts, like there's no, let's go back to the bocconcini salami sandwich, right? Like, let's say you've had the bocconcini salami sandwich.
Yeah.
Do you feel that weight sometimes on you?
Dude, you feel like shit sometimes when you have too much bread and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. 100%.
Yeah.
No denying that. But it's so worth it. Like,
I know.
it's so, Calm, you couldn't do it, could you? He's actually pretty strict with his diet, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it to him. Like, he's very, very strict. Like he has his meal times where he eats between. Won't eat outside of that.
Yeah.
Won't have anything but black coffee and water outside of that.
Nice.
Right, like-
nice.
Disciplined as shit. So
Yeah.
kudos to him.
Well, for me, the biggest thing that led me to the 25.9% body fat was like having 2 meals a day. So I'd have a breakfast and then I'd have dinner and I'd have nothing in between and just run on coffee.
Yeah, right.
So lattes,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is still calories.
Yeah.
But it's shit.
Yeah.
It's just milk and fucking caffeine.
Yeah.
All fucking hyped up and get home at night starving.
So how many coffees were you having a day then?
4 to 5.
Yes, that's solid.
Solid.
That's solid.
But the milk component was, it was mediums and large coffees. It wasn't like small coffees.
You know, it's funny you said that, right? My mum, my dad just went to Italy last year, right? Mm. And obviously they're from Italy, but they haven't been back. Well, they haven't been like forever, right?
Yep.
Mum went there, they were hanging out with cousins, la la la. They said over there, they only have milk with coffee in the morning. Mm-hmm. Then the rest of the day, it's all espresso, all the black coffee.
Yep.
Right? Because they're going to eat it in the morning just to line your stomach with something else. And then the rest of the day.
For healthy bones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's it.
Like it's the biggest marketing bullshit of the 21st century. Milk for healthy bones.
Yeah.
Actually,
Calcium.
statistically, the countries that drink the most milk break the most bones.
Is that true? Can't Google that on your phone.
For real.
Huh?
For real.
Google that. Yeah. The ones who drink the most milk.
The
break
countries
the most
that
bones.
consume the most milk break the most bones
That's insane.
and have the most women cancers.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me, man, because like they used to say cigarettes were good for you. Doctors recommend 4 out of 5 doctors recommend that you smoke.
Yeah.
Right?
I can look back now.
That backfired, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
But no, look, finished that degree that I didn't want to do it anymore. And I thought to myself, shit, what do I do?
Sure.
Like, because in my mind for like 2.5 years, I thought I'm going to be a graphic designer. Like, this is it. This is going to be it for me.
That's the dream.
And then that sort of, I lost that spark and realized, okay, I don't think this is the right thing for me. So, you got to break it to the family. Hey, I'm dropping out, blah, blah, blah. So I went into sales. So I went into customer care / sales for a call center that worked for Telstra. So
like TSA.
similar to TSA, it used to be called Stella.
Okay.
So it was the nicer version of TSA.
I had the same job, bro.
Because TSA was crazy.
I was at TSA.
I heard about the Wild Wild West. Like
Wiki wiki wah.
the TSA people, fucking hardcore sales, But anyways, there was some strict rules of Stella, which you couldn't
Bend them.
You couldn't bend them like the TSA crew.
Yeah.
But I started there, and literally they do give you like an 8 weeks training, which was awesome. So I knew nothing about the industry, knew nothing about sales. So that was good. Barely passed that because I was just ready to go.
Was that a 6-week course?
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
I didn't.
The training course.
I just wanted to get it done. I just want to get on the phones.
It was annoying as shit,
Let me speak to humans. What do I have to do this shit?
Yeah.
I'll just speak to people and then I'll sell to people. And they're no, you gotta learn
the
this and
products
this.
and gotta go over.
Got on the phone, smashed their sales targets within the first 30 days to the point where one particular Friday afternoon, my manager was missing all day. And he rocks up at 4:30 and just gives me this dagger. And I was like, hey, where you been all day? Because I've been locked in a room listening to you speak all day.
Oh, really?
I was like, what for? He goes, well, people were complaining. They thought you were cheating. So I had to listen to every single one of your calls to find where you were cheating.
And?
It's like, well, what am I doing? Yeah. He goes, no, you're not. Oh, so I'm good. He goes, yeah. I was like, oh, well, thanks.
It's probably the accent, bro. It's probably the accent. Like there was a stat I got told at TSA then. There was like, if you have an accent, people in Australia, people are 70% more likely to buy from a person with an accent than without.
There you go.
No bullshit. And the number one guy in that office was an Indian.
Who had an accent?
Which, in call centers is pretty standard these days, right?
Yeah.
Not being racist, it's just fact, right? But he grinded too, man. He was sitting at his desk, 14, 15 hours, on the phone for that long.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking, man. Right? And he'd make sure that he'd stay back late because then he could call Perth later in the evening because of the time difference.
Yeah.
Right? So, he grinded. That's why he was number one.
Yeah.
But I was number 2, which was all right, but I didn't do that many hours.
Yeah, so which are like that balance.
Yeah, I was like, I
you're
don't take this
happy.
job that serious, bro. Like, I'm all right. It's, it's not my forever job. It was just a job at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
12 years later? No, I mean,
No, yeah, imagine. So what, you weren't there for 12 years, were you?
No. So I was at Stella about 2 months into this whole sales records, blah, blah, blah. A guy that had been working there for 10 years, he actually
Yeah.
rocks up next to me, on my shoulders at the beginning of the day. He goes, hey, listen, I really recommend that you go. I was like, go where? He's like, I think you should go get another job. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm number 1. Like, what do you need another job?
Yeah.
He said, no, listen, like what we pay, the structure and the commission structure, if you go somewhere else, you go like to an Optus, you'll get double.
Really?
I was like, yeah. I said, really? Like, that's great. I said, but I've only been in this industry for 3 months. If I go and apply, how are they going to get me?
Yeah.
Like, why would they choose me over them? He
Yeah.
goes, listen, I don't care what you do. Tonight, you're going home, you're jumping on that seek, you're pushing that button, you're applying for the job, and if you get it, you get it. He goes, but don't do what I did, because I stayed here for 10 years. And eventually you get too comfortable. Before you know it, like I was 19 or 20. He goes, before you know it, you're 30 with a mortgage in here, and then you're not going anywhere. He goes, just go and apply. So I did.
Smart.
Applied, 150 people applied, and we got to the final stage of this 1-day marathon interview where there's group activities, one-on-one, blah, 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 brutal.
Oh, yeah, I hate that shit. Yeah,
And
there's
we
like
got
30
right,
people there.
we got right to the nitty gritty. Like, I managed to get to the, when you're standing in front of someone and you're asking them why you should get a job.
Yeah.
And we got to that stage, and I was there, and she goes, why should we choose you over all these people that got more experience than you? I said, yeah, more experience, more bad habits.
Oh, damn.
Like that.
Yeah.
And it was like instant.
Just rolled off the tongue.
It was instant. And she just had this big smile on her face. She goes, we'll be in touch. 2 days later, I got the job.
Yeah, perfect.
7 people out of the 150 people that applied.
Yeah.
I went to Stella, gave my resignation. The people at Stella were bitching, going, he'll be back here in 2 days. Too soon.
Well,
And-
we're better than the other side, that sort of thing. Is that what
well,
they're
yeah,
saying?
but some people were complaining, saying, like, you shouldn't have gone for that. We've got more experience. Like, we could have got that job. But well, you
Sorry.
didn't fucking apply.
I was cheating on my calls anyway, apparently. So, you know.
Yeah, I was cheating already.
Sorry,
so, like,
cheating. What are you
might
worried
as well
about?
be-
Yeah.
Although I did like, they used to have a Wii. So, like, at lunchtime, you could actually play Wii bowling and
Oh,
everything.
Nintendo Wii.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the best.
that was good.
Yeah.
Good culture.
Yeah. Nintendo Wii's killer. I played Mario Kart 8 on that.
Love it.
I love it. We actually did a tournament. Anyway, it's another story.
Different story.
Different story. Keep going with
Different
yours.
podcast.
Yeah. Different podcast. Yeah.
So, Optus Residential, 4 years later,
Yeah.
moved to BDM because I got to a stage where listening to an average of 70 to 80 people on the phone every single day. So tonality, phone, pitch, everything was down pat. Like, I literally, you could do a tiny pause
Yeah.
while you're speaking to me, and I knew, oh shit, I haven't sold them yet. So I got to quickly go back, build more rapport about the product, and then bang. So 70 people per day for 4 years is a huge amount of people that you're speaking to every single day.
It's crazy.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm that good now, just listening to a voice. I said, if I move to where I can actually see the person, we can take this to another level. Optus didn't have a BDM role for me, so I had to go to Vodafone. So I went to Vodafone BDM.
Yeah.
Vodafone network crashed 30 days later. Went back to Optus. Optus had just acquired a brand new business development manager, state manager.
Yeah.
Met her, moved back to Optus as a BDM with a 30K pay rise, literally 30 days after leaving Optus.
What?
Now people were pissed.
100%.
People that worked with me in the same call center were like, hang on a minute, this guy leaves Optus for the competitor, and the thank you very much is he gets to come back in a different role with a 30K pay rise.
How do they know you got a pay rise? Who told them that?
Oh, word gets out.
So that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I mean, losing it that they found out about your pay rise.
And a
if
different
you were-
level, different department, different everything, right?
Yeah,
So people are
they'll
losing
talk.
for the pay, they're losing that I got it, and they're losing because they were loyal. And they're like, well, hang on, the one that wasn't loyal left and came back. And then thank you very much is this. So I
Wow.
did that, and then Telstra came knocking.
Yeah.
And just like any good Formula One or MotoGP team, you always want to go work for number one.
Yeah.
And Telstra is number one.
In Australia, of course.
In Australia.
They own everything, yeah.
So we had secret 7 a.m. meetings, sneaking into car parks before working at...
Get lost, really?
Yeah. Like,
That's full on.
Yeah. Because obviously you still got to rock up at 9 a.m. at your normal job.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
8:30.
Yeah.
So 7 a.m. secret meeting in Telstra car parks, and then we were just talking about how we were going to do it. And then, once I got the signed paper from them, went to Optus and say, I'm going to number one.
So you had an affair.
I had a telco affair.
Yeah.
We're number one.
Hey, man. I mean, those brands ain't loyal to us. Why you got to be loyal to them for, really? You know what I mean?
For me, it was just about, like, I wanted to work for the best. Like, in this, if you're in the industry, you want to be in the best position.
Sometimes you're limited to how far you can go with your situation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you had more growth potential there and that was your goal, then why wouldn't you? You know, if you're limited elsewhere.
Yeah, pretty much. So I did that, and then was working at Telstra, and then before you know it, in the meantime, like this is now 3 years ago, so I was just simply learning about Instagram, learning about marketing, and just while I'm doing my BDM job, purely as a hobbyist, and then a couple of customers, would finish meetings about Telstra and telco and all that. They'd be like, oh, I wonder if Ivan's on Instagram. They'd look me up, and they'd be like, oh, 23,000 followers, like calls back, hey, have you ever been on a TV show? Why do you have so many followers? What's going on? Why don't you do that as a full-time job? So it kept on coming. But I thought to myself, if one person can get 23,000 followers, surely these marketing companies are like, wow, like super awesome, and
they'd have hundreds of thousands,
and their customers would have hundreds of thousands. And
next
thing you know, one day I was like, why do people keep saying this? And I just started looking. I was like, 300 followers, 400 followers, 1,000 followers. The best one's like 1,200 followers. I was like, is this a joke?
And they're the marketing companies.
They're the marketing companies, right?
So they can't even market their own page, but they're promoting themselves.
We're busy. No, we're busy working on our clients. We don't have time for our own page.
I don't even know where to start with that one, bro.
Yeah. It's like the personal trainer who's like 250 kilos.
Yeah.
Saying, I haven't got time for me, but I got time for you.
100% body fat. Yeah, no, I know my stuff. Don't worry, but
don't forget about it.
You train.
Yeah. Forget about it. Like there was one particular company like selling a $600 half-day Instagram course, and they got 300 followers.
Oh my god.
What could you teach me?
Well, exactly. I've got that already just by adding my Facebook friends to my Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you would say, really.
Well, we're Italian.
Yeah.
Well, at least you get 1,000 just out of that.
100%.
I'm Italian.
I better have 1,000 on my Instagram. Otherwise, it's not good. Ivan, can you like donate Instagram? No, you're about what, 45,000 now? Or
43 now. Yeah. So it just keeps growing, and like you just it's I describe social media very similar to fitness. You got to keep doing it. You got to do it every day. You're not going to see the results. Did you know a bamboo, right? For a bamboo to grow.
Oh, I like this one.
You like this one?
Go with it.
9 months, you got to water it every single day. And then when it starts to grow, within the first week, it grows to 70% of its length.
Yeah, it grows like 90 feet or whatever it is in like a week.
But you can't miss a day for 9 months. And you can't see it. You don't know if it's going to come out.
I love that because you can relate that to life so much. It's like you're working at something, you're watering the bamboo, you're watering the bamboo, in the hopes that it's going to grow to this big bamboo tree, right? But you got to nurture it, like you said, every day for that 9 months.
And you can't let go.
You can't stop, right? And it's just like...
Even though you want to.
Yeah, even though you're like, fuck, it's not working. Oh my God, it's too hard. This isn't going anywhere. I don't see the results now. It's not, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
La, la, la. That's like everything. You know, you're like in our job, your job, you're putting in the work, you might not see the results, for another few months, right? But that work you did.
A few years sometimes.
That work you did those few months ago, a few years ago, whatever, and then they pay off at the end with that perseverance.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's that was a big thing that I recognized going into the industry, that people didn't know me. Yeah. People didn't know. I had no credentials in the industry. I had this account that I had a huge following. Bilal, my business partner, he had a large following because we were growing our accounts together. So we only had that one thing that said that we should be credible. But everything else, we had nothing. We didn't work for a marketing company and then decided to start our own company. We just literally started a marketing company, one guy used to work in HR, the other guy used to work in telco. Like, how did
Yeah,
these two
right.
people start a marketing company? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up. But for me, what I found was when I was doing my market research on my competitors is that everything about them just seemed lazy. You know, I'm
Half-assed.
going to do 3 posts a week for you. I'm going to do 1 Instagram post and I'm going to do a LinkedIn post if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And that to me is it's very easy. And I can see why it's done that way. It's very scalable
Yeah.
because you do fuck all
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, you can have 50, 100 clients and, you know, because you're doing barely anything. I mean, 3, 4 posts, you know.
Well, yeah, and you
know, you're
automate it as
Australian.
well, right? Like they probably just have like one day,
Yeah.
like planning the whole month or whatever it may be.
And
And
that's
then
it. Forget about it.
Yeah, don't worry about the service or anything after that, and
Correct.
tweaking or adjusting things that need to change or that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so for me, I find that then there's a disconnection between the marketing department and the actual company. Because the reason why people hire outside marketing is because they can't afford internal. Because if you could afford it internally, then you would just do that.
Yeah.
But when you hire an external company and they do so little, people are like, oh, this thing doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah. I mean, if you go to a gym on Monday, like I used to do, eat Whoppers for 2 days after, then go to gym Wednesday, then can't be fucked until the next Monday. It's not
Not
going to
gonna
work.
100%.
But whose fault is it, the gym or you?
Yeah.
It's you. But in this case, people are like, oh, well, social media doesn't work for me. I don't want to invest time in it. I don't want to, I don't want to waste. I hear a lot of times people saying the word waste, waste resources, waste time. They're just not understanding what this is.
Yeah.
And if they truly understood what social media can do for their business, if you took that 9 months bamboo mentality, everyone would do it.
I mean,
Be mad not to.
yeah, it's needed. It's otherwise you'll be obsolete. Honestly, if you don't get a hold of your social media, your Facebook, your Instagrams, your LinkedIn, whatever else is out there, YouTube, TikTok, all this new stuff coming in, whatever it may be, chatbots. If you're not across it, well, in 5 years, you're gonna be obsolete. I see a lot of these companies that have been around for years. All right, don't hop on the social media train. Don't innovate. Stay in their ways. They close their doors.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
All right, look at Toys R Us, man.
Poor bastards.
Toys R Us didn't go online. Amazon killed them,
Yeah.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
Like, overnight, bang. They were like Toys R Us growing up. Was like the place to be, man. When you want to go find a
Oh,
toy,
man.
it was the place to be. right?
Early 2000s, like I used to love like just getting out of high school, bang, straight there, check out the latest things. Like
Yeah,
it was just a place to be.
These are billion-dollar companies, man.
There was a
Like,
Blockbuster survey that came out because Netflix said, buy us out, we're going to be huge. And
Sure.
Blockbuster said, no, listen, did a survey and the survey said that our customers love getting in the car and driving to their local Blockbuster to see their favorite movies, and it's actually they get a way to communicate with the community as well. Like they get to see their neighbors and friends there. So we're good. Like we don't think your Netflix thing is going to work.
they must have been asking this at a time where like it was just obviously starting, right? And people weren't even used to the online and social media
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's like, you know, when you know, it reminds me of when you said that when PayWave came out.
Yeah.
When PayWave came out, everyone's like, "That's bullshit. It's so unsecure. People aren't going to be paying with their cards. When people want to pay with cash, you know, everyone wants to pay with cash. Now, I never have cash on me. I'm always paying.
Mate, I do PayWave for like $1.50.
What do you mean? You just use your phone. You even got the wallet on the phone
Yeah.
now. You just bang and you're done.
Yeah, done.
Right? It's like
But what, like, I mean, like you said, you know, they're billion-dollar companies, million-dollar companies like Blockbuster, right?
yeah,
Surely someone in this entire organization would have said, well, don't you think that maybe one day people will get lazy enough that they just want to push a button and see a movie? Like, how...
they don't want to think of it, right?
And that's the thing. And I see this every day in my job. I see people pushing back on ideas, pushing back on, you know, social media, pushing back on concepts. And the thing is, what they're pushing back on is on the what if. But if you live your life on the what if, eventually you'll be obsolete because someone else will come around and go, listen, I know that this might be a bad idea and there might be a chance that we fail, but we're going to give it a go. And then after we fail that one, we're going to give another one a go. And eventually you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
and then the
Well,
obsolete
it's the fear. It's the fear, like whatever the fear may be, like anything. I mean, like you've been scared. I've been scared to do things before. I was scared to go skydiving. Right,
Haven't done it yet.
it's killer, unbelievable. Right, best rush, like 30-second free fall rush. There is like insane, man. Like you can't. But then when you pop the parachute and you're flying down, it's a little bit boring. But that rush at the start, but you're shitting yourself before. I mean, when I did it, I don't know with everyone, but when I did it, it was this little dingy ass plane here in Adelaide, up north somewhere, over these big paddocks. Go up there, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna go up in this little thing. Like it just fits a couple people in there, right? And you can't tandem. So I'm sitting there in between some bloke's legs, awkward, right? Because I don't want to sit in front of the place. But all right, kill, I'll do it just to do the skydiving bit. They open up the door, all right? So you're in this little plane, 14,000, 12,000, 10, whatever, however high you go, above the ground. This door opens up and you're like, shit. And you feel all this heavy breeze just flying into this door. Then you got to look, they got a ledge, no joke, about that big that you got to put your feet on, right? I put my leg out, the wind's like, I'm like, oh shit, so I got to fight the wind to get my foot onto this thing. So now I'm shitting my pants, right? Because my legs are hanging out this plane, right? I'm this high above the ground, like it's hard to control my leg to get onto the platform. Finally get on there, they hold you back, pull your head back, 3, 2, and then
They go at 2.
they just throw you out and you start rolling, and they're like, you got to scream because like it helps when you go down if you scream, la la la, right? So I'm screaming my head, ah, right? Drop. I'm like, man, this is killer. There's nothing to be scared of here, right? And then when they pop, there's a little bit of fear until they pop the parachute, because like, this thing went over, man. It's like maybe a pancake. It's all over. Not gonna be able to recognise me anymore, blah blah blah. But
my Facebook password is blah blah blah.
Yeah, just text it on the way down. But no, and then like once that happens, it's just you've had such an adrenaline rush that there's that peace on the way down.
Yeah,
like when you're just floating towards the ground, you've overcome this fear, and it was like that was one of the most amazing things ever.
Yep.
Right. And there's been times in other times, like, you might feel awkward in a social situation or to go talk to a girl, you know what I mean? Or going for that kiss. Or, there's been times in people's lives where they've got that bit of fear.
Yeah, that hesitation.
Because, of course, you're human. You're going to have those fears. What if I get rejected? What if people don't like me? What if they think, this? What if they think that about me? I'm a good guy. I want to think this of me, whatever it might be, right? But when you overcome that fear, when you go in for that kiss and the girl kisses you back or whatever, and it's killer after that. You know what I mean? So a lot of the time people can't overcome that fear of that rejection.
100%. I mean, for me, for example, at the moment with the skydiving, for me, it's the little plane that I'm shit scared of. It's not the jump.
Yeah. Dude.
It's the little plane. That little tiny thing that gets you up there, that's the one that I'm scared of.
Well, I wasn't worried because I'm like, well, if the plane starts going down, I've got a parachute on my back, we'll be all right, if it's at that height. But it could just go up and
when
die.
it takes off,
and if it doesn't get up, and,
the one in New Zealand, take off, boom,
bang, dude, I know, you shit yourself, right? But I mean, it's like people want to go diving with sharks. I mean, in the cages. How many videos I've seen of those sharks getting in those cages, man?
Really?
Oh my God. You've seen them, right? They and you're in there. There's people in there with this bloody great white shark that just managed to get their way into the cage. They can't do nothing about that.
Wow.
Right? I'd shit myself. So that's something I haven't overcome yet.
Wow.
So that one there, that's
what a lunch for the shark.
Dude.
I mean, it's sitting there, you can't move.
I don't know if I want to. I'd have to be forced to do that one, like peer pressured into it, because not something I want to go do. Bungee.
When's your birthday?
We just had it. It's July.
Okay, next year.
Yeah, that's it.
Next year, birthday present.
You're coming with me then, yeah?
Oh, shit.
That's it. Yeah, if I do it, you do it.
All right.
Or we'll go down together. But, that's what I mean. So, all right, where were we? So we were at, you've done the marketing company, so you've just started.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. So you already had a good Instagram following before you even started the company. So how did you, and like when you first started your Instagram, how did you go from like 0 to wherever you were in that time? Like what was the secret to your success there?
So I will say that it was easier back then.
Yeah.
The platform was more open. There was more opportunities to grow your followers faster. And I actually, if I had got onto it even 6 months earlier than I did, it would have been even more. Like I'd be like 140 now. So that's step number one. You know, unfortunately, you missed the boat a little bit, you know, compared to 2 years ago. But back then it was about, all right, what do I like? Or who am I as a person? What's this channel going to be about? That's really important, because if you understand what your account is going to be about, then it's already half the battle. There's 7 billion people in the world. If you know who you are, someone's going to follow you. If you don't know who you are, no one's going to follow you. So that was step number one. So for me, it was about motivation, inspiration. I think that people need that stuff daily. And so for me, I was like, well, if I created an account that inspires people, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So literally, I just went out there every single day, posting 2 to 3 times per day. And it would be either a quote, me talking, message, caption, image, quote, talking, whatever, just to get it over the line and to get that message across.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've posted, let's have a look, just to give you an idea of how often I post. So I have, in about 2.5 years, 3 years actually, so 2,127 times.
Shit.
That I've posted. So that, you know, people say, what does it take? Well, just post that many times and see what happens.
Yeah.
If you post 2,000 times
You're gonna
over
get
a
something.
2-year period, 2.5 year period, something's going to happen. Either that or shut the account and start something else.
Well, I mean, like, but even for you to think, okay, what sort of person am I going to be? Right? And to come out and say, listen, I really want to inspire and motivate people. Right? I mean, people could think that, and people could want to do that, but they'll think, who the hell's going to think that I'm inspirational? Who's going to think that I'm inspiring? Like, you know, why would people look at what I do?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
all just bushlarking, man.
So
You know what I mean?
that was the girlfriend back then, not even fiance. So that was
really?
like, that was Danny back then going, okay, cool. So you starting this account, but who are you? Like, what gives you the right?
And what'd you say to that?
I just said, just
I'm me.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Watch what happens. I reckon I've got something to say.
Fantastic.
And that was me.
Yeah.
I've got something to say, and I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And I find that people stop from moving careers, from doing something that they really, really would want to do, and if they only just took that step and do it, and I find that it's because they're judged by the people closest to them. And so it's very easy for someone back then at 27 or 28 for the girlfriend to say, who are you?
Yeah.
And for that to be the thing that hits you and goes, yeah, you know, she's probably right. Why would I do this? Yeah. But people might judge or people might say something. And so I just felt that the why was bigger than the
fear.
And that there was going to be mistakes, and I'm okay with failure. So I'm okay with mistakes.
Yeah.
As long as there's been a whole go. So I'm not okay with people that do something and fail. Like, oh yeah, I failed. It's part of the journey. No, idiot. You actually didn't try.
Yeah.
And you failed.
Yeah.
Like if you try and fail and learn something along the way, that's great. But if you just did something half-assed and say, oh, my first startup failed.
Yeah. But when you have that mentality, nothing's ever a failure, right? No, it's all a lesson.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference.
Pretty much.
Right? Most people look at failure as like disaster. It's all over. That's the end. Whatever. Who cares? I gave it a shot, but you know what I mean?
Time to go. How many times I heard throughout the beginning of the marketing company, and even we've gone through waves as we've over the last 2 years, and September will be our second birthday. But how many times I got given like a little one-liners, you know, like, oh, you know, if you weren't doing this marketing thing, what would you do? What would be your job? Like, why you ask that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. I'm just asking. It's like, nothing. I'll just do this. Oh, no, but if it failed, well, then I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Like,
Find a different way.
I mean, what's the worst thing? I mean, as a marketing company, we're not a factory.
Yeah.
We're not a manufacturing company.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I don't have an office.
Miss a shipment, you know what I mean?
Worst case scenario, I don't have an office or I don't have staff and I got to go back to doing it all myself. That is literally the worst thing that can happen for a marketing company. But a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of marketing companies shut doors. So, well, what are you shutting? Why is the business out of business? Have you lost your mind? Are you no longer creative? Do you
don't wanna
suck
be
at
in it.
marketing anymore? I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe, of course, financially you have to close the office and, go back down to less staff or no staff. But what happened to your creative mind?
Exactly.
So, like,
Because,
that doesn't
like,
make sense to me.
It's still you, right? So even if you had lost all the money and all the business, there's still
Yeah.
you there that can get it started and get it going again.
One new client.
That's
One new
it.
client in your back.
That's all it takes.
And I find that in my particular field, of course, there are other like retail, hospitality. They're literally cost. Like you can't run a cafe without a physical location,
Nah, it's different.
rent.
That's
But
social media marketing. Though.
in social media marketing, why are you closing your company?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. Even if you had to go get yourself a 5 p.m.
Yeah.
to 9 p.m. job to pay your bills and then still do your marketing company
Yeah.
and keep that on the hush hush, like maybe Macca's along the way and all that. Like when I was from 17 to 21, I worked at Macca's.
Yeah.
That was just something that you do like to support.
When you're young, you have all. I mean, I worked at Foodland. A lot of people work at Foodland
Yeah.
as their first job.
Absolutely.
Khan worked at Foodland for his first job. too.
Great places to start.
It's a great place to learn. It's a great place. I mean, because you could do it after school. You do night fuel. You get a few hours here a week, make a bit extra money. And you sort of learn a bit more about.
But for
the
me,
whole
I
process,
find
but-
our professions are similar in a way where it's the person going out there doing their thing and and then gaining the business, and then delivering on that thing. But there's no actual physical cost involved apart from printing or brochures and all that. But why people quit their marketing or marketing agencies and all that, for me, it still baffles me. Like what happened?
Let me ask you this, right? Because you got a pretty entrepreneurial mind, right? With what you do and how you look at things and, your plan of attack, that sort of thing too. When you were younger, right, did you do, like, I'm talking young, I'm talking maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. Did you do things to make money back then?
Oh my.
Because
I was wondering if this question was going to get asked, and you're in for a treat.
Wait, keep it legal, right? We don't want to incriminate anyone. Like,
No, it's legal. Well, I'm incriminating myself. I'm incriminating myself and everyone that went to high school with me. So,
Yeah, okay.
it was year 8.
Sure.
Oh, it's a beauty. Mm-hmm. So I happened to be the only guy in the class with a computer that could burn CDs.
Oh, you were that guy.
I was that guy.
Oh my God.
So literally, people would come to me. They'd say, "Hey, I need some video content downloaded for the week or for the month."
Yeah.
These
movie's about to come out. I need that one too.
These are the type of movies that I need. I need blonde. I need this. I need that.
Yep.
And then I would be the guy that would go home at night, pump it all out, burn them, and then deliver them for a fee the next day.
Yeah.
I had a guarantee. Order today, get it tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
So it was about
awesome.
speed.
Yeah.
And everyone came to me. So all of a sudden I went from the midget that everybody paid out to the one they needed.
Yeah, and you got to remember, like back then, it wasn't like you were downloading at 47 megs per second or 100 per second. This was like dial-up speed.
Yeah.
You have to leave the computer on overnight to like let the file download properly,
And then burn it.
and then burn it in the morning.
And my burner actually could burn the CD into that particular drawing that you wanted as well. So it was
Oh,
themed.
that's sick, bro! You took it next level, man. The
Oh,
guy at my
absolutely.
school is an Asian guy.
Yeah.
William, his name was. He was that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the same guarantee, which was good. But I reckon the DVDs he gave us, every guy just thrashed, right? Because that's the only way you get the stuff back
Yeah, of
then.
course.
All right, you couldn't get it any other way.
it was no way.
Because no one's going to sit there overnight downloading stuff, especially if you don't know what the hell
The
you're
Paris Hilton one, I was one of the first. I was like, got it. Boom, you can have it.
doing. Yeah, right.
Kim K.
Yeah.
When that.
Well, dude, you play to the market like anything in
Yeah.
sales, right? And even with that, like things are hot, things are trending. You sell what's trending.
But
That's just
back
the way
then,
it is.
like if you look at it now, what I did, I created urgency. I had a guarantee. I delivered.
Yeah.
People had a good rapport.
Yeah.
People knew about it, so they had customer testimonials. I mean, it was a business.
Yeah.
It was a startup.
Yeah.
But-
a little bit different to a lemonade stand, right?
Well, yeah, a little bit different, paid better. But then obviously my mum realised,
What's going on here?
we've got a bit of pocket money here, and you're burning through CDs all of a sudden. And then before you know it, the next year, everyone had a burner on their computers. So then you're out of business.
Well, there you go.
So it was make the money while you can, and then eventually the technology caught up, and everyone could do it themselves. But hey, for 1 year, I was king.
Dude, I remember.
First startup.
I remember when I was younger, so I've got like startup stories too, right?
Love it.
I used to go to drink the protein shake while we wait, because I'll get into it a little bit.
Get in.
But when we were younger, so my parents owned a cafe at a shopping centre, all right? So after school, I used to go straight there, back to the shop with mum and dad, work with them in the shop, all right? I had my best mate, Mick, whose parents owned a photo shop in the same shopping centre. Went to the same school, same year level, whatever, good mates, right? So at that time, we'd go to the parents' shop, do what we had to do. Then I'd either go to his shop, he'd either come to my shop. And back then, the trolleys at the shopping centres, you used to have to put like 20 cents in to unlock it. So you push it in and then out pops the lock and then you can take the trolley. After that, it went to $1, but back then it was still 20 cents, right? And people just didn't give a shit about their 20 cents. Right, so we used to go, collect all the trolleys, push them back in, take all the 20 cents. 20 cents at a time, bang, bang, bang. We're like 9 years old, right? So, we're making like $5-6 a day, right? And this is in the 90s.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is killer, right? Then one day we're like, all right, how can we take our operation next level, right? We saw this old Italian guy, right? He became our competitor.
There you go.
But you know what he did, the bastard? He hacked off one of the keys. So he just take the key.
You just take the key,
and
take
just
some 20
go
back.
around popping them all. He wouldn't take the trolley back.
Speed.
Right?
Speed.
More efficient. Oh, shit, this bastard. He was onto it. So we had to expand, right? Because he was starting to take our business. So what we did, we thought, what's something that people will give a little bit of money to, that we can get some stuff that they'll take, and we're thinking, shit, a lucky dip, right? So we started a lucky dip at the front of the cafe, right? So what we actually did to get all the items was we robbed our parents of pens, erasers, pads. He had the film cases, all them.
Oh, yeah.
And we were at one point, we're like, shit,
Kodak.
I want to capitalise on this. So I separated the lid from the pen. They were separately wrapped. So if you got, he just got the lid. One guy got the lid. He was like, cool, I'll go here. Just take the pen as well. I felt bad. But, I mean, that's all.
I love this.
That's what we're doing because we're bored, right?
Yeah.
Just to try and make money while we're there. But, it gets your mind thinking already at that age on how to set things up, what to look out for, how to, what your competitors are doing, how it affects your business, blah, 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 blah. And we're 8, 9, 10 years old doing this, right? And we did it all the time. Most of the time we took our winnings and bought scratchies and just went all in. Right? Because back then you could buy scratchies when you're 12 years old, whatever. Plus we knew the news agency people. But once we realised we weren't winning too many of those, we stopped.
You stopped.
Just kept the money after that, right? Yeah. But, at that time it was just the thrill of it.
$5 or $6 a day. Back then.
Yeah.
Sick.
In the 90s, man.
Beautiful.
You buy a fair bit of that.
You do?
Yeah. That's killer. So we're a couple of years in now. So how's business going now? I mean, I see you doing talks everywhere. I see you doing the, the chatbot. I mean, chatbot's something you're really, really big in at the moment, right? And you've gone ham on as well, right? So I don't know if everyone really knows what chatbot is because I'm explaining it to people a lot too. So maybe you want to take us through what a chatbot is and how that works for your business and other people's business and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, if you think about a conversation that can be streamlined and it's the same answers and the same questions every time, it could be turned into a chatbot conversation.
Yeah.
So unlike a lot of people think of chatbot and they think about your website's live chat. No, this is a Facebook Messenger chat. So it's an AI that gets integrated into your Facebook Messenger, the company Facebook Messenger, and it communicates with your customers.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'll give you, in your industry, for example, you have a particular property that you want to market. You do it on your Facebook page. Let's say it's in Prospect, right? We're in Prospect now.
Yeah.
And what you do is you create that urgency and you say, hey, we just have a new listing in Prospect. If you go in the comments and type in the word Prospect, we're going to give you the latest information about that property.
Sure.
And then the Facebook Messenger chatbot kicks in and actually starts giving them all the information. So it's revolutionizing what used to be email marketing, and it's now turning into a conversation that you can have with people utilizing Messenger. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about your industry, let's say somebody came into an open home on Saturday and it was on Anzac Highway.
Yeah.
And then this email newsletter comes out from the company saying, hey, check out this property that we sold in Glenelg. The guy's like, I don't give a shit about Glenelg. Just tell me about what you got down Anzac Highway. That's what I'm interested in. And that's the power of this, right? You can segment your audience and give them personalized messages. So then you know that person is interested in that suburb. So then we just go and tell them about that. So that's where Messenger is going, and the chatbot conversations are going. Plus, they're fun. You know, like you can put GIFs in them. You can make them real animated. You give people multiple choice questions. You can run competitions using them. I mean, we've got a winery at the moment. I mean, it's probably the only wine company in SA that has taken social media seriously. We've gone from 2,500 Facebook likes last week to 5,400 today.
Shit.
A South Aussie,
In a week?
In
You
a
doubled
week.
it.
South
More than double.
Aussie with Cozzy competition
Yeah.
tied up with the chatbot.
Get lost.
So they did the competition saying, hey, go check out this winery on their page.
Yeah.
But when they went to like the page, the very first post was, oh, hey, did you see us on South Aussie with Cozzy? Type in the word Cozzy here, and then you can enter another competition. So we
Double dipped.
We got the traffic from Cozzy, and then we took the traffic and made it our own.
Wow.
And that's the thing about marketing and chatbots and all these things is get traffic from wherever you can get it, Facebook, Instagram, all that, and then put it somewhere else. That's yours. You own it, and it's not going to go away. That's the big part. Because let's say Instagram shuts down tomorrow, Facebook shuts down tomorrow. What have you got? You got to get that and put it somewhere else.
Exactly right.
And have it as many places as possible, which is why these things like here exist, like this viral on demand.
Yeah.
You have your audience on YouTube, you got your audience on the podcasting streams, you got all the different podcasting channels that this thing is going to be distributed on, and now all of a sudden you're in more places. So my big vision for Digital Marketing Tribe is to be an omnipresent brand. I want to be everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to be just one place. I don't want to be known as the Instagram guy. I want to be the chatbot guy, the Instagram guy. I want you to see me on Facebook. I want you to see us on podcasts. I want you to see me at live events. To think and create this sphere that Avan doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
And the company doesn't sleep, and these people are everywhere. And I just can't. I can't look and think about marketing without thinking of them. That takes time. It takes a lot of hard work. You got to do the right thing, and so it's a cool place.
Yeah. Well, when I first heard about you, I found like when I got told about you, they're like, "Oh, Avan is the Instagram guru."
Yeah.
Right, Instagram guru. Then after meeting you and having our conversation and doing our plan of attack, I was like, he's not the Instagram guru. I'm like, he's a social media guru, man. Like it wasn't just one platform.
Yeah.
So obviously the person I heard it from was just focusing on one thing.
Well, I caused that.
Okay.
So I caused that issue.
Did you?
Because when we started month 1 to month 6, we're the Instagram gurus.
Ah. Okay.
So I created that.
That was on purpose.
No, I mean, well, it was on purpose, but looking back, we probably did ourselves more harm than good. Because we niched ourselves into one field, and then Instagram 6 months ago goes and changes all its rules, and now it's not as good as it used to be.
Yep.
So what I learned from that was I created that, and people did go around saying things like the Instagram guru, the go-to people for Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I believed that if you specialize in one thing and you're the best at that one thing, then people will go to a specialist rather than go into a general store. And that is true.
That makes sense, yeah.
It does make sense. However, back then we were only 2 people.
Yeah.
So we had to say we're the best at this one thing. But now with a team of 7,
You control your growth.
you can specialize. You can have different people within your company specialize in different things. So we've got Nick with video. We've got Bilal with
YouTube and stuff.
what Bilal does. No. YouTube and all these other things that Bilal does for the company. We got Rachel, marketing and strategy and PR, and we got all the other people involved. And you got me, brand, vision, working with the owners of the company, where are we going? Where are we going to put this thing? And then distributing it all out to the team saying, all right, this is what we got to do for that company.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are at the moment. But I believe, be omnipresent, but do it well, do it to a high level.
Yep.
But definitely done is better than perfect in 2019. So you don't need to go all out and hire 12 camera crews and there are so many affordable ways to get something started, right?
That's true.
So you don't need to hire hire an audio studio. You can make one. You know, you don't need to go out there and hire a videographer, photographer. Like, you got these amazing 4K phones, right? So if that's all you've got, the resources you have, then you do that. When you can scale and move it on to someone that's quicker, better, and faster, and you can afford to pay them, then do that.
Yeah.
That's essentially, because what you're really buying is their experience and time.
Yeah. And I mean, like, so we're across all the platforms. We're on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, all that sort of stuff. Now, is it my understanding that Instagram actually tested in Australia taking the amount of likes off?
Yeah.
Is that right? So
That's
we were
the
the
thing.
guinea pigs.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's happening.
So yeah, I know right now it's active, right?
Yeah.
Is that just still here? Or is
No,
it-
it's
it's rolled out across everywhere now.
initially they told us it was going to be 10 days, and now it's been 4 weeks and we still all got it. So no more likes. You can't see it.
Is that across the globe now, or is it just still here?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but
Yeah.
definitely here, America, Canada, UK. No likes.
Oh, get lost. And how do you find? Has that changed things for you at all?
I think it's probably impacted influencers more than it's impacted the everyday business. Because at the end of the day, as a business, you can still see how many likes your post got.
Yeah.
So, for example, I can't visually see it, or my followers can't see it initially straight away. But if I go on my account right now and I look at, for example, the latest post and what I've been up to, and so I can see, for example, my latest one, I gave a really good tip on the 12 websites to get stock photography for free.
Oh yeah.
People loved it. So we got
Is that a thing? Can you get? I just paid today. Are you're not telling me these things? What?
it's right here. 12 websites, royalty free. Good photos. So that reached 3,800 people, 104 people saved it, 85 likes, 27 profile visits in the last 2 days.
Okay.
No paid advertising, so free.
Organic reach.
Organic reach. And my account on an organic reach in the last couple of days, 27,000 people
Shit.
reached.
So you know,
So
that's crazy.
it's still, I mean, Instagram is still like, you know,
Powerful.
powerful. Like, there's no doubt about it. But like, for example, where we're going with Varo and what we're up to is that, you know, this particular industry you guys are in, there are so many different factors, things that come up, and cash rates and loans and marketing and strategies and all these things that are coming out, and you guys got to stay on top of it, because
Yeah.
if you don't, your competitors will.
Yeah.
And so with you guys, what we're up to is, you know, we're on the Facebook and the YouTubes and the Instagrams, and now with the podcast idea, and I'm so glad you guys jumped on it. And I believed, before you met me, I believed that you had already wanting to do something like this for ages.
Ages.
You just needed that extra person in the team to just say, you know what?
The biggest thing that you
Let's
did
do
for
it.
my life was hold me accountable
Yeah.
to myself. Right? Was which was like, it was just that push in the right direction. You know, that I needed, because I had I was still getting all the equipment together, because this shit ain't cheap, man. Like,
Nah, man. What you
over
got
time.
here?
Oh,
I can tell you now, if Digital Market Drop is going to do a podcasting thing, it ain't going to be with this equipment unless we use this equipment.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's going to be on the cheap. Like,
so I mean, we put it.
this is legit.
We backed it. We put a whole studio in here. We made it legit, and I mean, I love it. I love doing the podcast thing. I love just speaking with people, being real, getting their stories, their journey, you know, that sort of thing, like we are today.
What
you
have
know?
people said about this? Like, when you've said, hey, I want you on my podcast, what was the reaction?
They're like, first they're like, who else has been on it?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And I'm like, yeah, well, not Michael Jordan yet, but, you know, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Coming soon.
And what's it sort of about, and that sort of thing too. And when I just tell them, because people come in, like, you know what, it's funny you asked that. I think most people, when I say I've got a podcast, they expect me to rock up with a laptop and like one microphone and just sit on a little desk somewhere and just,
Yeah.
you know, interview someone like this, right? Then they rock up here and they shit, fuck, there's 4 mics, 2 computer screens, 2 computers, you got the audio, you got everything just hooked up, all the cameras, the whole bit.
It's legit.
The studio, the padding, the soundproofing, whatever, everything that's here. So when they walk in, they're like, shit, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like nothing, we don't do anything half-assed, man. We either do it or we don't do it. You do it properly or you don't
Yeah.
do it. Luckily for me, like in my journey, like it's like I've always loved IT. I've loved this sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, back in a past life, I was like a gamer a little bit on Twitch, that sort of thing. So I had a lot of the computer already pre-built. I built a beast computer back in the day, the webcams, all that sort of thing. So I knew a bit about it. Luckily, I've got a good friend, Maddie, who's just, he's recorded albums and stuff before. So I got him in here and we set it all up together.
Yeah.
Because I just needed the master just to show me how it's done.
Of course.
But it's really not that hard once you sort of learn it to run it, that sort of thing as well, right? And for me, it's just been a great experience, and we'll see how we go as it keeps getting bigger and grows and the audience grows and that sort of thing too.
For me, I find when you're learning something new, you're doing something new, you get that headache. Like that first time, you're like, oh my God, my head's exploding from this thing. And then before you know it, you're like fucking doing 12 million things at the same time while doing that thing. And it's like, oh wow, back in the day, first time I did it, it was like biggest headache, but now it actually, it's not that bad. So it is that commitment thing. And what we personally really like about working with you guys is that you do have that all in mentality. And when you like an idea, it's not okay, let's put that on the agenda for the next 3 months. It's like, nah, tomorrow run it, do it. Like done.
Just do it, man.
Don't know how, but just
whatever happens.
If you thought about it, just do it.
Well, you've worked with us for a little bit now, and it's like, we tried to make videos at the very start, remember? And at our other office.
Yeah.
And it was all, do a script and do this, do that. So we tried doing the whole scripted method. And we crashed and fucking burned badly. I mean, I'd love to see those outtakes. So just be me swearing my head off, like about how shit I was at doing the whole scripted stuff. Guarantee it.
It's not real.
Right? Once we made the decision to say, listen, man, I'd rather, honestly, you ask me a question and I'll respond to it like I normally would in my day-to-day as I'm speaking to someone, right? Because then the truth, the honesty, the transparency, that all comes through, right? Then everything's been sort of one take ever since that, right? That's why I'm like, when you're taking a drink, just take the drink, bro. No one cares. They'll wait while you have your drink.
Drink.
This is a podcast. We can stretch this shit out. I mean,
I'll drink.
Shit, we've already been gone for a while, but I mean, like, so those are sort of encouragements, the right things, the guidance that you get, and you learn as you're starting to just jump in the deep end and go for it, right? And then with your expertise on you can't release one thing to all platforms. You got to sort of customize it to each platform. There's no point us releasing a 2-hour-long podcast onto Facebook.
Yeah, nah. People be like, what are these idiots doing?
Yeah, and no one's going to watch a 2-hour thing on Facebook. YouTube, yeah, podcast, yeah. Right, but you clip it from there and you do what you have to do for that, right?
Yep.
But then also a space that we wanted to really get involved in and we relied on you was LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
Right, because we do a lot of B2B, so business to business sort of stuff, and we've got a lot of plans which you know about, which we won't talk about yet, but that are coming.
Yeah.
Which are pretty big things, and we know we've got to establish our presence there to line up all the ducks for when things are ready. And we know it's a macro process. It's not something where it's micro. We don't expect to get 50,000 followers overnight because it's a stupid expectation.
Yeah.
Right. But by being real and understanding that things take time, if you do the right things, it'll come eventually, like the bamboo.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same with the social media. And then how often is there a viral video, really? It's not very often, but some people are lucky enough to hit a viral video and then explode overnight.
Hopefully this podcast.
Oh, well, with your good looks, hopefully. But, they can only hear you, so it's more about the velvety voice.
It's more about the YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow us on YouTube. Viral on demand on YouTube.
Yeah, let's do it. No, but, you know what I mean? So that's where it does really come into play. But you've got to have that strategy. You've got to have that plan of attack. We're planned a month ahead now on what we're doing and where we're going, and we'll still chuck things in between.
Yeah.
With what we're doing,
Because you never know. Like things happen, news comes out, and you got to react to it. And it's the people that react to that news quicker that are the ones that piggyback off that traffic and then, ride the wave.
Yeah.
We've got the Royal Show coming out, and it's coming. It's a family. It's a perfect target market for you guys, like as far as reaching more of them. We've got something coming out tomorrow.
100%.
Maybe not.
Yeah. And we love giving back. We love giving back to everyone. That's what it's all about too. So, if we can, we do, and if there's a way we do it, we can. I mean, like we've also got the footy shirts thing coming up where, it's going to a good cause and, raising money, all that sort of stuff. So anytime you can do that, it always takes priority because it's you're helping others, right?
Of course.
That's what we like to do. But the best thing I love working with you is that we'll sit down, we'll have our catch-ups weekly, fortnightly, whatever it may be, and our brainstorming session, like where we'll take one idea. So like this whole show was created in that meeting because like I said to you, I go, man, I'm really liking this podcast space. I reckon we've got to do something in it. And you go back, and then the next week come back, listen, man, VAR on demand, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, VAR on demand, I like it. And he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, let's do this, and that. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's
that's
do
it.
And the next week, boom, we set it up. And
Next week I'm back and doing our meeting. I'm like, hey, check it out. I'm like, what is this?
Man.
But then after that, it took a couple more weeks to get all the, the fine tuning, and then the interviews started happening. So one thing about the listeners is, it's not overnight. The idea came overnight. I mean, I knew that you had the equipment. Then I'm thinking, all right, well, what does Michael need to make this thing a reality? All right, well, I reckon he's a kind of marketer, kind of business owner where if I give him a title, he'll be like, okay, I get it. There's a title now. Like, this thing is legit. Then if we come up with a couple of ideas on what the podcast can be about, now his brain will start to think about who he can interview.
Yeah.
Before you know it, the room will be set up and we'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it happened.
And that's it, man. And now, we're pretty much 5 episodes deep this week and ready to go and bang it out, and we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a great venture so far. Something I love is sparked a passion in me, and I get to talk to really cool people and get to learn a lot more about businesses and how things are set up and how to grow and just their journeys and.
And there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, but that's unbillable. Like, that's wasted."
I don't care.
4 to 6. Why would you? 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You could be talking to 2 clients or 3 clients or 12 clients.
Yeah, and 8 till 10 is when I do them as well at night. Who cares? But at the same time, I'm willing to give anything. Like, I'll be back till 10 o'clock tonight editing stuff for this, but it's what I got to do to make it work, man.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a passion. If I was forcing myself to do this, of course it'd be fucking hard and a grind and that sort of thing. But I haven't struggled with 1 second of it.
Yeah.
Because I love it. I love learning how to do all this, do the edits, do the audio, and now that I know it, that's knowledge I've learned that you can't take away from me. You can't ever take this. That's what my grandfather always used to say.
Yeah.
He goes, they can take everything from you, but they can't take what's between your ears. Right?
Exactly.
Because no matter what you learn, that's for you.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, a lot of businesses are, again, and we see this all the time. Oh, that's too time consuming. I don't want to do that. Why do I have to bother with that? And yeah, I mean, look, if we had to think about the world in a linear, numbers and, only things we can touch and feel are real, and none of the shit would be real. Like iPhones wouldn't, no one would have come up with that idea. Steve Jobs had that idea. And the worst thing about working with Steve Jobs apparently was going into a lift with him. If you went into a lift with Steve Jobs, if you didn't know the answer, he'd ask you one question. If you didn't know the answer, he'd fire you.
Get lost.
It was that brutal. He was a machine. He goes, I want to put a dent in the universe.
Yeah, well, they're not number one anymore, so.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
They've lost.
They're cashed up though.
Oh, of course. Well, he built it, didn't he? But like now, it's just slowly. What Huawei and Samsung 1 and 2. Yeah, Huawei is number 1, eh?
Yeah, they're good.
The Chineses, mate.
They're good.
They got it.
They're good. Huawei. My brother's a huge Huawei fan. My brother's been riding the Huawei flag for like years because this company's going to be killer. I'm like, why are you buying a Huawei?
Yeah, Huawei.
I'm like, who are you? Why are you buying a Huawei? And he goes, nah, this thing's awesome. It's better than the Samsung. It's better than the iPhone. I mean, I use Apple. I mean, that's just my personal preference, but I think they're all amazing these days. And the thing is that they're a smart phone. And if you only use it to make phone calls and messages, you don't have a smartphone, you have a dumb phone.
Yeah.
So you don't even need an iPhone if you're going to do it just for that. Like, you can literally run your whole business and do so much with them these days. So
and they're that integrated into every platform that you need.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
business
even
now,
that app Anchor, you could literally start your own podcast right from inside an app on your phone.
Yeah,
like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
If you so there's no excuses. And then afterwards you scale it up, and then if it works and people are getting into it, then you move on.
So what about new platforms, right? What do you see that's like maybe starting on the horizon, or do you see any of these platforms sort of losing their juice a little bit, in time, or what's your thoughts on that?
So there's a lot of startups that are creating social media networks using blockchain.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. So could be potentially coming up. Look, it's hard at the moment to go against the big ones, you
Yeah.
know, because there's so much traffic. Everybody's using them. I mean, YouTube is growing by 9% per year on growth as
Jesus.
far as how many people are watching it. So a lot of people are like, why would I start a YouTube channel? Everyone's on there. So, well, no, 9% every year on year, it's growing in how many people are implementing it. So, you know, with the gaming and all that, like, you know, soon, eventually, you know, when I flip the switch, I'm actually going to start a e-racing, you know, sim racing, sim racing channel. So people can actually see, you know, you can see the pedals, you can see the footwork, you can see the steering, and you can see the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, like it takes a certain skill to drive and concentrate while you're speaking on a camera.
Yeah.
But if you can master it and entertain people and, you know, people get to see you race, because racing in real life, yeah, you can't hit the reset button. When you crash into a wall, you've crashed into a wall.
Yeah.
But on sim, because you don't have that element,
Yeah.
everything is perfect. So
Yeah.
millimeter, like to get the best lap time, you're really pushing like mentally to make sure that you get that lap time. It's fascinating. But people don't know. People are like, oh, it's a toy.
Yeah.
But no,
yeah.
there's like the Porsche is iRacing Championship, like this year's got 100 grand on the line.
Yeah.
And people that have been racing professionally, sim racing, are actually going into race cars and winning.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
they're doing that
completely
much training.
translate.
They're doing that. Well,
It translates.
don't they train in simulators? Like,
Yeah, they train in
you know what I mean?
simulators
Like, the
all
pilots and
day.
shit do too. You know what I mean? So it's got to do something for you.
F1
right?
drivers are out of the race into a sim,
Is that right?
like 5 days, and then on Friday get back into the real car, and like, the sims are coming. Like, you know, like it's realistic. I mean, at the moment I'm doing the Mazda MX-5 on iRacing, and
Sure.
if you were to jump in a Mazda MX-5 race car, it would be the exact same feel, touch, throttle, and I mean, you know, we have some great fun. And one of my customers actually races in the Toyota 86 series.
Yeah.
I was on there, and next thing you know, I get this screenshot going, no way, I'm in the same race as you.
Yeah.
And we were like,
That's
you know,
insane,
we were
dude.
like, we were having a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, so I reckon there's only.
They didn't give me any discounts, but
Oh,
we're
well,
having a lot of fun.
there you go.
I still have to win.
People still people.
I'm still competitive. Like, I'm the kind of person, if we go mini golf, I have to win.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you're competitive, man.
I'm competitive.
I've always been like that too. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
You could be netball, and I'll go ham on it, right? But I think with gaming in general, now we're talking about gaming, within the next few years all right, let's say decades, just to allow, it's definitely going to be one of the biggest sports in the world. E-gaming,
Yeah.
like no matter which
Huge.
esports is already getting huge. I mean, look at Fortnite. The 16-year-old, what's his name, Abuya, just won $3.5 million in the Fortnite World Cup. He's 16,
Yeah.
right? Tax killed him with the prize money, but you know, that's America.
Still won.
But either way, you know, what did he cash in, like $1.5 million at 16 years old, bro?
Playing Fortnite.
Now he's on Twitch, right? Massive streamer, getting 30, 40, 50,000 people watching him every day for 12 hours straight,
Yeah.
donating money, paying subscription fees, right? He is set, bro,
That's it.
right? He's 16 years old. People don't make that money in their lifetime,
Yeah.
right? So it's definitely the way. I look at like the kids these days that, you know, I hang out with and that sort of thing, like, you know, part of the family and, you know, what their mindsets are, what they get drawn to, right? Everyone's always been drawn towards games. I don't care if it was like Quake, like back in the day, or Wolfenstein,
Tetris,
or whatever, Doom, you know, Mario Karts, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
There's been games the whole time, and people always been drawn to them.
Yeah.
Now they've turned into something where you can make money from. I mean, the teams in China that do World of Warcraft and those big games, they have 2 teams set up. They live in a house, right? 12 hours on, 12 hours off each team. So they rotate half a day each, right?
Wow.
Well, because the prize money is like $10 million at those tournaments, right? Because
Yeah.
the games are so big.
Yeah.
Like CSGO, all those sort of things. Like, it's crazy. So obviously the bigger the game gets, the more following it gets, the more prize money you get. You have over 100,000 people in the stadiums watching these tournaments, right? Plus the million online watching it live on Twitch and other streaming services,
And
right?
guess all I hear? And I know you're talking about gaming, but in my marketing mind, all I hear is opportunities.
That's it.
Because the marketing, like, you know, even with sim racing, on a sim racing car, you know, you put your company colors on there, and next thing you know, even if it's 200 people in Australia that are watching that particular thing, then they recognize the brand. It's like, oh, okay. Like I'm actually, like, I need to step up into the C grade. Like I'm a D grade driver at the moment. Like you have all these ranking systems because I've only been in it for a month. But once I go to C and I can actually do Porsche, I'm actually going to put the Porsche in all the Digital Marketing Tribe colors. And it's still branding, it's still awareness. And, you know, if you do good and it's been live streamed, and next thing you know, 1,000 people have watched your brand for nothing.
Dude.
Like on this sim. So, yeah, esport marketing and esport advertising is something that we're seriously considering.
Oh,
not just for us, but for our customers.
And the future, right? Because like it's where it's going to be 100%.
Yeah.
Like you can just see it right now. And the thing is, it's something I don't think that will be priced out. I mean, like, you know, with Facebook, right? How like initially with the marketing, you know, it was very cheap.
Yeah.
Right. Very cheap to have reach because, you know, you had the Google AdWords first and then that became really expensive. And then, you know, social media came out. So you hop onto Facebook and then that was really cheap at the start. But then that came really expensive now. And then Instagram was the cheap one and that one's starting to go up. And, you know, now LinkedIn, you get really good organic reach at the moment still. So it's still very cheap to do.
Until they close it, yeah.
Until they flip it and then, you know, they do whatever. But with gaming, I mean, Twitch, all these platforms that you watch, they're free. Right, you can choose to subscribe. There's different tiers. There's $5.95, $15.95, $25.95 a month. Right, but you can still watch them for free. You don't have to subscribe. You just don't get the ads, and you're part of like exclusive chats and stuff with that. That's how they do it. But you find if people genuinely like what they're doing, they're more than happy to subscribe and pay money to watch.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like radio companies, advertising companies, newspaper companies, every, you know, for the last decades, you know, they've been selling us on impressions and reach.
Yeah.
Well, now, esport, with the impressions and reach and the cost, I mean, some of these teams don't even know what they're worth. So you could literally go there and, like, get a top esport team and actually get them on the cheap, and like you get the same reach and audience, and it's insane. So for us, Spotify advertising for us is something seriously that we're looking into and want to learn more about with Rachel as well, so we can actually show that to our customers and introduce that. Because if you think about it, how many people have free Spotify account? You know, after a certain amount of songs, you have to hear an ad.
Shit.
So
yeah, I use premium, bro, because I can't handle.
Yeah, I can't handle.
Yeah,
but $250, you can reach. I'll get all the stats. You know what I mean? That's clever compared to doing a radio ad. Because if you're looking to tap into the younger audience who are not on Nova or Fresh FM, you go to Spotify, you got them.
Yeah, you're paying at least $10,000 for those platforms, surely, like for a decent campaign.
Yeah, it's decent. So on Spotify, cheaper. You can actually. You know, it's actually more affordable. Esport. So where are we at as a company? Because I know you asked that question a few minutes ago. We're looking at these type of opportunities. So we're not just looking into our social networks and we're like, all right, this, and this. Of course, it's still early to build a YouTube channel. You haven't missed the boat.
Sure.
You haven't missed the boat on Instagram. You haven't missed the boat anywhere, to be honest. But these other channels that are coming, your Spotify advertising, your esport advertising, whatever esport it is, these are the kind of things that we'll look at, and just sport advertising in general. So supporting your local community, looking at that database. So everything is about building a database. At the end of the day, all these tools are here to get us to be in front of more people. But once we're in front of them, we need to get them and put them somewhere else.
Well, that's it. And there's no point just building a database if you're not going to service that database, right? I mean,
that's a different story. Yeah.
There's all well and good building a database, but if you don't provide relevant content to that database, right?
Yeah.
Which is what I love working with you for, because like we're all pretty creative. We come up with these pretty cool ideas and we just roll with it. You know what I mean? And other people see us and are like, well, why? You know, you're working with this company. Why is their social media looking so good right now? It's like, I don't. You know, for you, you know, people might expect you just to do everything for their social media. Well, I don't think it works like that, because you've actually got to still put the work in with you to make the good content.
Absolutely.
You know, like, you know, how are you supposed to know their business inside and out to have the idea of this is what we want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you work with them and take it to another level, but initially they've still got to come up with the concept of idea and what they want to do and be willing to actually do it, you know, because, you know, we're not scared to put ourselves in front of cameras and be told you look like a piece of shit. Like, whatever, man. You don't like it, change the channel. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. You can never impress anyone.
Well, did you see me on a current affair the other day?
What happened?
You didn't see?
What, who'd you beat up?
No, I was on a current affair last Friday.
Yeah, what?
Last Friday or 2 Fridays ago.
I saw your Instagram post with the cameras and
With the
stuff.
cameras
in
and
the
all
background.
that, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
see the actual episode because it was
Yeah. But
What
anyways,
happened?
I was on a current affair,
Yeah.
and then you should see on the current affair page the comments and the backlash from because essentially JB Hi-Fi made a mistake. Something that was meant to be 1,199, they put it up for 199.
Oh shit!
Nikon camera, the whole work. So bang, bought it naturally, signed, paid, got a delivery date. 3 hours later, everyone got an email saying, "Nah, sorry, we made a mistake. See you later. Like, here's your money back. Forget about it. You're not getting it."
Wow.
So then a current affair jumped
Wow.
on it, interviewed a couple of people. I was one of them. And I literally said on air, I said, well, I think JB Hi-Fi should take it on the chin and pay up.
That's
Give
fair.
people the cameras. They've made a mistake. If I make a mistake, I pay. That one line,
What were people saying?
take it on the chin, my ass.
What the fuck is it to them?
If you had to pay 150 grand for a mistake, you'd probably go broke. Oh, man, they went nuts. The thing is, right, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
whatever. It's your opinion. And the thing is, your opinion doesn't have to be my actual future. Like, if you have to choose what you do with that person's opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's up to you. Like, the person gives you the opinion. Like, you might turn around and say, Ivan, listen, I've decided I'm not going to run this podcast because you're shit. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that I can't, next time somebody asks me to go do a podcast, not do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Because a lot of people get very emotionally attached to that person's opinion and saying, hey, I want to do this. Or, no, I think it's a bad idea. Yeah, you're right.
I think
it's a bad idea.
I think people are scared to have their own opinions. They just follow the crowd a lot of the time. You know what I mean? If
That's why
if they talk to
crazy
some,
wackos are starting to build a following because people just want somebody to follow because they don't want to lead.
yeah.
So I'll just follow that guy.
Yeah, he's cool. I like, he said one thing that was really cool, so I'm just going to preach.
Yeah, he wears suits. I like suits. I'll just follow that guy.
Whatever it might be.
Whatever.
Right? But, I mean, we're not a national, we're not a massive organisation like JB Hi-Fi.
Not yet.
Right? Not yet. Well, yeah, not yet. But if we were to make a mistake like that being a smaller company, we'd have to pay for that.
Yeah. And that was a lot of people didn't really understand why I went on air. I didn't go on air for the camera. I knew it was a genuine mistake. Like, let's not,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
If I charge someone marketing, right, of a property, and it was really $3,000 and I put $300, well, I'm not going to go back to them and say, listen. Well, I'll probably say, listen, I fucked up for $2,700, but that's my mistake.
Yeah.
All right, it's
Exactly.
on me. I'll pay for this.
Why
one.
not on a bigger scale? That's literally why I went on air.
Exactly, but
And
they
I
can
got
get away with
murdered-
it,
I got
right?
murdered for it.
Because people are still going to shop there, because it's still going to price match and all that good shit, right? So
That's it.
You know what I mean? So it's irrelevant, and it's not going to affect their bottom dollar as much as someone like us. This is a family business, a local business, that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
With the power of social media for us at this level, a little bit of hate goes a long way, right?
Absolutely.
In decreasing your business, right? So, and plus, you don't want to ever mislead anyone and do wrong by anyone just as an ethical standpoint, So if
Nah.
you're going to make the mistake, like you said, you take that on the chin,
Yeah.
and you move forward. We've ate thousands before for making mistakes, and shit happens. That's part of business,
That's
right?
just what you do.
It's human error. People make mistakes. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But to the fact they can just be like, nah, snap the fingers, reverse it. You're not getting it. Here's your money back, and it's all Gucci,
Yeah.
right? I mean, do they really give a fuck about the consumer? I don't know.
I don't know. But I didn't get my camera.
No.
But I did get, I was on air.
Did they even give you like a discount or anything for
Nothing.
to say sorry? Like, all right, if you want to buy it, well, here's $150 off or whatever it might be.
No.
So nothing at all to counter.
Nothing.
It. Yeah. See, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand where people are coming from. Yeah, they'll lose a lot of money, but how can you be that big and that slip through the cracks? Like, haven't you,
And it slipped for 2 hours.
yeah, but haven't you done your proofs? Haven't 10 people in the marketing department checked it? Like in that sort of level, I'm sure you don't release it just by saying, "Hey, Ivan, just put an ad up for the Nikon at $1,199, whatever the fuck it was, right? Just do it now. Hurry up."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen like that. I could be wrong,
We hope.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? Because you know you have a lot more errors.
But I'll put this thought in you.
yeah,
What if it was done on purpose? Think about how many people have now heard about this Nikon camera for nothing. Clickbait.
well, and it's made National 9.
National
mate.
news, advertising. People have heard about it. People have seen the Nikon brand. People have complained.
People giving you shit about it.
People giving you
people
shit
taking
about
the
it.
time to actually comment hate towards a person about this
Nikon
subject.
representatives, throwing shit in my office.
What?
No,
Imagine.
No, that didn't happen.
No way.
That didn't happen.
no, they're cool. Ah, shit, man. All right, so I guess the piece of advice I'd have for people after listening to this podcast, because we've been going for ages, all right, I think you got another appointment. But anyway, is just get onto it as soon as you can and just take that leap.
Yeah, I think take the leap, whatever it is, whether you're looking to start your own company, you're looking to get that promotion, you're looking to kiss that girl, you're looking to get these social media accounts started, take the leap. You have a huge weight off your shoulders when you actually go all in and actually start doing it.
Yeah.
And you feel better, you feel more inspired, you actually begin to have more energy that you didn't think you had throughout the day. Before you know it, you're living in passion, you're not living, just doing.
Yeah.
Like you're actually enjoying what you do, which a lot of people think that that's not a thing. You shouldn't enjoy what you do. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I have a job.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing 9 to 5. I hate my life. Friday, hump day, and
Look forward to the weekend.
look
that
forward
sort
to
of
the
thing.
weekend, and then Sunday night crime that it's
It's
Monday again.
tomorrow.
You
I
know what
love
I mean?
Mondays.
Love Monday.
Yeah, just
Like-
another day, but I love it. Cause,
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm on.
yeah.
But no, thank you.
No, thanks, dude. I really appreciate your time. Actually, to add to what you just said, right, being someone as an outsider that uses, marketing services from you. If you have your business and you're thinking, listen, I can't really afford to put someone on full time to handle the marketing of my business. I mean, you can tweak budgets to what they can afford per month, and you can actually
Yes.
customize the packages to help them out, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
from the start, and sort of build as it grows from there too. So it's not something where you have to think like, I'm going to be spending thousands of dollars a month using a van and, then grow rapidly on social media. It's tailored to you and how much you're willing to put in and what you're willing to do, right? They do a lot of the heavy lifting as well, don't get me wrong, right? But you still got to put in your 2 cents as well, because people respond to you being real. If you show your real self come through and people can see it's not bullshit, right? I probably sound like a rambler, right? But that's what I do. I fucking ramble on. I don't care, right? But you've got to show yourself through it, because that's where you get that connection to people, right? And if it leads to nothing, who cares? But if someone's taken some bit of information from that's helped them, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes back in other ways. You get blessed in other ways too if it doesn't lead to business with that people.
I mean, my worst fear is to be, boring and become the kind of company that doesn't actually help someone just because of budget.
Yeah, yeah.
That to me is scary.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, sir. We're Digital Marketing Tribe. Our fee started this much. If you can't afford it, fuck off.
Yeah.
That to me would be a disaster.
Yeah, but you're real, man, and you understand, and you're empathetic, and you've got integrity in what you do, right? And the passion, right? Let's just not forget that. To me, passion is probably one of the most important things that you do with anything, because when you sit down with a lot of people, you speak to a lot of people, you're in sales for how long, you can see when someone's being real, when someone's full of shit, right? And when someone genuinely loves what they do,
Yeah.
right? And they're in it for the right reasons, working from their heart to help people, right? Straight away with you, we got that. We left. Reda's like, I love Ivan. He's the best. I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking champion. I go, let's just get shit going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also, when we've fucked up, we've acknowledged it. And we've gone, hey, listen, it hasn't been the best. It hasn't been good. But I'll make it better.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what a lot of businesses, if they don't get it right, they're like, oh, well, they're going to leave anyway. So let's just,
You're going to have teething problems, bro.
half-ass at the end, half-ass until the end, and then then they'll dump us anyway. I mean, they've already given up on the relationship. They're like, oh, we fucked up. Yep, all right, we're out. But it's that accountability. It's not always going to be pretty.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be perfect. But when it is perfect, though, it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. Awesome. I loved every second of it. Hope people took some good things from this.
I hope so too.
And we'll speak to you soon.
You will.
All right.
Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, bro. Ciao, ciao.